Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa in the Guidewell Insights Lounge. I'm here at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine, and we have an extra treat in the Insights Lounge. We actually have a faculty member from Singularity with us. We have Dr. Divya Chander. She is the faculty in neuroscience for Singularity University. Welcome, Divya. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure.
So I want you to give us, from a very high level, some of the big macro trends that you have been seeing emerge here at Exponential Medicine 2016. What's everybody talk about? What are the key takeaways?
So there's a couple of things. One is this interesting idea of taking healthcare to the point where you can intervene where and when it actually matters. So we're not treating disease anymore. It's about creating health. And we can do it in these really, really exciting ways. We had Andrew Hessel, and he mentioned the entire field of synthetic biology, from the first genome sequencing to CRISPR now. So we can go in and change DNA, not quite at will, but in order to correct diseases that are going to express themselves soon. Then we had Tiffy McKenzie. She's a professor of surgery at
Incredible.
UCSF. Absolutely mind-blowing. I was in residency at UCSF, and my residency director actually was the first person to talk about whether or not a fetus needed anesthesia because they could feel pain.
Oh, wow.
And so the idea here is that there are certain defects that if you don't correct them in the fetus, when they're newborn, is going to die. So why not go in and do fetal surgery? And she introduced us in the most beautiful way to what it actually means to do fetal surgery. And I talked to her more about it, and they now give cocktails to the fetuses to prevent pain, to prevent the fetus from moving so that they don't injure the fetus.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing that technology is
amazing technology.
Right now, we're also talking about the Cancer X Prize, right? That's that new thing, Daniel's group won, right? Cancer X Prize. That's another example of like going in and doing cancer detection incredibly early and making it so cheap that anybody in the world can do it. And then there's a team that might actually be able to win the Cancer X Prize, and that's where you got into the mind-blowing technologies. And that was Sangeeta Bhatia's group over at MIT. These tiny little nanoparticles she's created. So she brings them in, you inject them into the peripheral bloodstream, and they just kind of leak out of the blood vessels. And then they go find these tumor cells, and it's the enzymes that the tumors secrete that activate them. It allows these nanoparticles to actually sense the tumors. They use this sort of battery of 10 of these enzymes, and they can start characterizing cancers, and you just pay them out. So you basically have a urine test for cancer. Absolutely incredible. It's changing the face of medicine. So I found that really heartwarming. But moving that into another sphere, it's like taking all these exponential technologies and giving it to the have-nots, right? You can't talk about this without talking about the lives of the people that really need to be impacted. And one of the ones that really got to me was Dara Dotz. And she was talking about basically 3D printing, but this sort of point-to-point, low-cost manufacturing where people who are in countries that have been affected by disasters, or people who don't have any healthcare resources, where they don't even have umbilical cord clamps to be able to deliver babies. Right? So now you can print them point-to-point. It's absolutely incredible. And then you can recycle the material.
Oh, wow.
So that's just going to completely change the landscape of what it actually means to be in a country that is under-resourced. You can give them resources, and then they train the people locally to be able to do this themselves. Then we had Arnan Zamir, and they have a group called TOM. It's like this maker space for helping the disabled. And what they do is like they open source all of this crazy equipment and technology and know-how, and have people come together to solve problems and make life more livable for people who are disabled. Did you know that 1 in 11 people in the world can be characterized as disabled? And that just, that very much touched me. So they were using exponential technologies again to help heal them. And then finally, there was an amazing panel today. They were from Burundi, the Health Village. And they realized that healthcare is so impacted there. Women are dying in childbirth at unprecedented rates because they don't get access to anesthesia or surgery for C-sections. I mean, they're trying to bring anesthesia and surgery to the developing world in a way that makes sense, that's cost effective, bringing them know-how. So, anyway. It's very moving.
No, it is incredibly moving, and it's touching to see somebody be so moved by all of these science and the implications of them. What else? Is there one other big trend that you can share with us quickly?
the mind-blowing crazy trend, right?
Okay, tell me this.
So
geek out on me.
So we talked about Syngate this stuff, and that was just mind-blowing and mind-bending.
For everybody, remind us
That's
again.
the nanotech in order to do cancer detection and ultimately cancer intervention, so you can wipe out tumors right at that point. There was another person from MIT, Ramesh Raskar. He's developed a technique to do something called femtophotography.
Okay, what is that?
What does that mean? Right. So normally you have to take pictures of things that you can actually see. But he's found a way to use scattered light coming back from objects to like take pictures of things like around the corner.
Oh, no kidding.
So you don't even have to be able to see the object, and you can actually sort of collect the ambient light that bounces around.
Wow.
And imagine now you took an endoscope and you wanted to actually look at something in the gut or the lung, and you couldn't make that blind corner. You can actually image what you can't directly see.
That's amazing.
Right? So, and then it opens opportunities for interventions. And then actually in my talk, I reviewed a number of technologies for brain-machine interfaces. But we are now implanting these electronic arrays and chips and coupling them. We're actually reading minds, coupling those signals to bionic exoskeletons and helping people who can't walk again. And here's what's even more crazy. The group that actually studied this at Duke, Miguel Nicolaos' group, found that paraplegics that had been put into these exoskeletons and had all this complementary AR and VR and neuro rehab using all of these technologies actually regained neurological function.
Okay.
So their nervous system came back online, parts of their brain that had not been used, their muscles, their peripheral nerves, their spinal cords, there was actually a return of function. It just tells you the incredible capacity of our plastic brains.
Unbelievable. Divya, you gave me goosebumps with that last one especially. I mean, this is the beauty, I think, of exponential medicine. Is really when you start to see the impacts that these technologies can have on truly transforming people's lives and the way that they interact with their own health. So thank you so much for joining us in the Insights Lounge.
It's my pleasure.
It's so good to hear somebody be so excited about all of this and bring it back together. So thank you so much for joining us. This is Jessica DeMassa from Singularity University's Exponential Medicine in the GuideWell Insights Lounge. Thank you.